Black fatigue. Now, I didn't want to make a video like this because this is a big topic. And I think the people that are saying they have black fatigue is a little too judgmental. I think my friends and my family know me pretty well. I like dark humor jokes. So, some of my jokes can be a little offensive. But do I ever think of someone less than me or bigger than me because of their race? No, I do not. And I know some people that say they have black fatigue don't mean like all black people, but they do kind of word it differently. They say they don't like, the black people from the hood or N-woods. And I don't know. I'm the type of person that is starting to get sick of bureaucracy and hypocrisy. I know that there are people that even do not like hypocrites can be hypocritical sometimes. I mean, it's human nature. Sometimes we do stupid shit, right? And of course, if you don't want to watch this because this isn't wrestling, this isn't gaming, this isn't what I usually do on the channel, you can leave if you want. And of course, this isn't me being in an angry review because I think this is a very serious topic that people need to understand. The internet, and I know a lot of people say this, but I don't think people understand when they hear this. The internet is not real. And I hate to be a person to lecture people, and I know people don't like being lectured, and I don't either. I am a rebel, okay? If somebody tells me to do something and there's an agenda to it, I don't like to listen, okay? If it's my boss, sure. If it's someone that has my best interest in mind, sure. If it's my family member, friend, sure, I'll listen. But there are these people that go online and say, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, you're homophobic, racist, or, stuff like that. Now, there was this person that came on to my video, and I'm gonna, forget it after this. I'm not really a person that likes to respond to comments, good or bad. I'll, give you a good like if I like it. But here's the thing. Someone told me that, oh, well, you must be an Asmongold fan because you agree with him. And I do have to say, I do watch him sometimes, just like I watch other people. Doesn't mean I'm a big fan of them. Doesn't even mean I'm a fan of them. There's people on my algorithm that I just watch because I'm like, let me see their opinion. There's many people that I disagree with that I still watch because I feel like in society, people have to get used to being around people that they disagree with. And sometimes I feel like if you talk to someone you disagree with, you can have a different mindset. I don't like it when people brainwash or tell you, you need to think like me. Otherwise, people are going to defect, okay? Like you watching right now, if I tell you what you need to do right this minute, and if I lecture you, you're not going to want to listen, right? And that's human nature. That's how I am too. And if it's not my boss, if it's not a family member that has my best interest in mind, or if it's not a friend, if you are lecturing me and I do not know you, there's a lot of people that don't like that. So, in today's society, when I'm talking about bureaucracy, I'm mostly talking about like either celebrities or famous people, big business people, video games, movies, a lot of social media lecturing you about how you should act and what you should believe. And there's some people, even now, getting into my professional wrestling that I like very much. And the reason why I like it is because, yeah, they all have different opinions on professional wrestling, right? It's kind of like the UFC. They are entertainment, they are sports, they all have different opinions. And I'm not the type of person that says, I hate this person now because they have a different opinion than me. Um, like for example, like I've told people before, I like The Undertaker. Yes, he voted for Trump. I like Dave Batista. He voted for Kamala Harris. I don't care about their political issues. I actually like them because they're entertainment and what they bring out to the world. I think both of them can do great things in the world. I think both of them, have their good sides and their bad sides. Sometimes they can be a bit pissed. Sometimes, they could be a bit friendly. But I do not like whatever your religion, whatever your politics, I do not base you off of that. I pretty much base you off of your character, even race. I don't base you off of that. And like so when people get into wrestling, especially new people, right? Um they're like, well, I don't like this person because they're white or black or like that. Like even on the 2K cover, we had Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley on the deluxe edition, and there were a lot of people that were like, not everybody, because there's still a lot of people that supported them, but some people said, well, they're women. We do not like that. Like some people were talking about Bianca's skin color. And actually, in my opinion, I think they were great for that cover because now I'm not saying that because they're women, okay? I don't care about identity politics. I like them on the cover because they are really good workers, just like Bailey, just like a lot of different women in the WWE. Just like people were excited for Ronda Rousey to be on the UFC cover. Now, I know some WWE fans do not like Ronda Rousey. I think it was kind of insulting for her to say WWE fans are stupid just because we didn't like her gimmick. It's not because we didn't like her. I mean, now there's probably some people that don't like her now because she insulted people. But it's not because we didn't like her. There's probably some people that watch WWE that also watch the UFC. They like that she kicked ass. But now I think people don't like her because she's arrogant and she told people, well, you suck for not giving me a chance. And my opinion with that is, I actually wanted to give Shayna Baszler more of a chance because she proved that she didn't go all the way to the main roster and just get a handout. I was very excited for Ronda. Don't get me wrong. I was interested. But I did think that she needed work, and she needed to practice a little bit. So I didn't really have an opinion on her either way. I just wanted her to be entertaining. But I think there was a better chance for Shayna Baszler to be a little bigger just because, like, she was in the Performance Center. She was in, you know, NXT. She was, building her character, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't. And I think it's kind of sad, though, that, like, there are certain people that do not give her a chance. But of course, in entertainment, WWE, video game, yada, 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 if you don't work with the majority of people, they're not going to bring you out. And sadly, what I think is not what everybody else thought. And I guess she didn't get a push because not everybody really cared. Um, and so like there, and I'm trying to say this in a calming way because I feel like people can like whatever they like. Like, for example, there are some hot takes on video games that I have. For example, people are saying, well, this game is too woke, this game is too anti woke, but there's people on both sides, either right or left, that are very extremists, and, well, they're a little judgmental. Like, for example, there will be a person that says something is woke just because it might have a person of color, a gay person, or a woman in it. And I'm like, well, until you see the story, like, for me, I think there are certain things that are really woke, but I think that's because of the writing. I don't think it's just because there's a woman. I don't think it's just because there's gay. I think it's because they push that stuff without getting to the story first. I think the story is important first to make it interesting, to make the game fun, and then you go on to your politics, because there are things in games, like games, movies, even sports entertainment, have always had politics to them. So I'm no exception to know that there are politics. It's just that a lot of times there are people that get into video games that judge other gamers, being like, you shouldn't like this, or you're a bigot. Or there are some people that go into professional wrestling that weren't fans before, but now that they're trying to be more PG or more acceptant to everybody, now that there's people that are like, oh, this is my safe space now, I like wrestling. And I think that's a little weird, just because I feel like if you're a real wrestling fan, you would like it for what it is. I mean, it's violent, it's dramatic, and when people say, well, there's not enough white people in wrestling, there's not enough Asian people in wrestling, there's not enough black people in wrestling. Listen, I know that there's problematic things in the business. It is a business after all. And of course, I do think that Vince did have a bit of prejudice. I think even though Triple H has made plenty of mistakes, trust me, I'm not always happy with his decisions. But there's even people that I do not care about, mostly because they seem like they have more of an agenda to them than they actually are entertaining. Um, and I might get people very mad at me for this. Um, because now I don't. All right, so there's people that are like, well, we don't like this person because they're gay. And I'm like, well, there are some entertaining ones, right? Like, for example, I do not like Sonya Deville. As a person, I don't know her, but as an entertainer, I thought she was a bit annoying. Having to tell everybody, every single time she was on camera, I am either lesbian or I am proud to be gay, which that is fine to a certain extent. Me as a bisexual myself, I am very prideful that I am the way that I am. But you got to think of the majority of people where they don't want that in their face all the time. And it does get a bit annoying to me that I'm being lectured that I should like her because of that. But the reason why I don't really like her is because she's focusing more on that and less of trying to be interesting. And I know what you're going to be thinking. Hear me out, because you're thinking like, oh, well, he's pretty bigoted. Actually, there are a couple of queer or part of that community that I do like in WWE. Like, I feel like Asuka's a bit of a backwards mechanic. I do enjoy her a lot. I like her because she's a badass. I like her because she's done things in the business that a lot of other Japanese stars haven't done. She's very accomplished and she's very entertaining. Plus, I like her energy. She's entertaining. She's cool. I like her. Tegan Knox. She's another one that is a bit queer, and she's very entertaining. I was very sad that she left because I thought she was entertaining, right? I thought she was great. I didn't care about her colored hair. I thought it was, pretty creative. I think the thing is that, like, people speculate on, like, oh, if you have colored hair, you're a bit unhinged. It's like, probably on TikTok, probably on people that clearly have a message, but I think people have to understand that there are, like, alternative rock people that have colored hair, or people that are goth that have colored hair, or, they're not always the far left wokies, okay? People have to understand that everybody has their own hairstyles, everybody has their own way of living. I'm not trying to say what kind of politics the people that I just mentioned have. I'm just saying that they have their own beliefs. And I think it's really weird that there are certain people that have these ideas of thinking they know what a certain celebrity, superstar, or whatever, their beliefs, even though some of them have private lives. They don't tell you anything because they want their lives to be private. Or there's a couple of times where there's going to be a celebrity or a star that says, well, I'm not voting for this person. It's like, oh, so you're probably voting for the other person, so you're either a bigot or you don't agree with me. And it's like, so people have speculations, right? And also, along with the black or hood fatigue, the reason why I think that's a little unnecessary is because, well, I really like Bianca. She speaks a little, ghetto or hood. Um, I like Jacob Fatu. And the funny thing is that he's even said in interviews that, well, people think, just because I'm from the hood or just because I talk like this, that I'm very ignorant. But he's told people, and there's a lot of other people in his family that have told people, and he's actually proven that he is a pretty intelligent person. Did he do stupid things in the past? Probably. I mean, people have said that he did go to prison for a little bit, right? And he did his dues, and he realized the error of his ways. And I think it's weird, like, how there are certain people that have played Red Dead Redemption, and they say, man, Red Dead Redemption is a great game, but yet they don't see that people can change even though they've done bad things. Like, they've seen John Marston do terrible things. They've seen Arthur Morgan do disgusting things. They've even done it while they were playing as them. But they see that they can be redeemed, right? So when you look at a guy like Jacob Fatu and people are like, well, he can't redeem himself, or like or like certain people with political views that you don't like, it's like they can't redeem themselves. We don't like them. They're either Nazis, bigots, or like we don't want to discuss with them. They're just terrible people. And it's like like even when I was growing up, I live in an area where there's a big population of Arabs and Muslims. And there are, now I'm going to start talking about like the people on the far right, not everybody on the right, but the far right, where some of them believe that Arabs or Muslims are disgusting human beings or they're terrorists. And I'm like, I don't know. I've seen many Arabs that I have met, that I have known, that actually sometimes are very patriotic about America by moving here. And even if they're not, they either keep to themselves or they're respectful to others. I think the people don't understand on the internet that a lot of times on the news and the internet, you see the bad things because that's the most entertaining. That's what they want you to see to get the views, to get the reaction, right? Like, not everything on the internet is complete gospel of what's going on. People get angry, people get upset. This is stupid, this shouldn't be happening. Like, and it's like, it's not always. There are still people with other opinions They're just not online talking about it because either they don't want to get canceled or they're just not getting into it because they know that's not their life, right? And I do have to say that I've met a couple of Muslims. Heck, there's a guy at a corner store that I know personally that is a very good guy. He shows me respect. Sometimes he helps me and my mom out when we need help. Not going to say his name because confidential, out of respect with him. But he's a really good guy, and he is an Arab. Very respectable guy. He's very busy. But yeah, there's even a guy that, goes around, picking me up, dropping me off from like doctor's offices. I have told people on this YouTube channel that I deal with schizophrenia. I am a person with schizophrenia, and I don't like talking about it that much, mostly because I don't want to be one of those people that go online and, you know, prioritize monetizing schizophrenia, because I feel like using your disease or using your mental illness for profit, or being on TikTok and crying about something, and people are like, why are you being pathetic? Why are you being mean to people? Oh, it's because of my schizophrenia. That's an excuse. When I get mad at people, I try to take responsibility, and I admit it. It was me. Sometimes you have to take control of your actions. So yes, but yeah, I'm just saying, some Arabs are pretty good people. Matter of fact, so the far right sometimes says, well, da 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 and stuff, and these cultures, those cultures. But do you know what's a pretty good place to go to, and it's pretty peaceful? That also has Muslims, and it's very Arab oriented. Dubai. They are very organized, very advanced, and they are very civilized in Dubai. And they are Arabs. Majority of them are Muslim. Does anybody realize that? That Dubai is primarily Muslim and no wars over there? Nobody telling you exactly what to do over there. Now, of course, they have rules, obviously, and very strict rules. Um, but of course, in a Muslim type area, they're probably going to have stricter rules in America. So if you don't respect those rules, maybe don't go to that country. Um, I feel like me personally, I would rather donate to a black business myself than donate to Black Lives Matter. Mostly because if you're a person that supports Black Lives Matter, if you're actually doing something good in that cause for actual Black lives, I don't mind you. You're pretty dope. I Show Speed, you know, he's a guy that supports it, but he actually does good for Black lives. He actually like donates to certain things, and he's actually a pretty well-rounded person. So I'm not talking about people in that group. I'm mostly talking about the people that are getting donations from Black people that support them, but then they enrich themselves and don't support Black lives themselves. Um, I think it's weird how, like, back in 2020, people were saying, "Oh well, you know, Black Lives Matter," when there were pretty much almost only Asian people. Almost, there have been people that help them, um, that say "Stop Asian Hate." I have never seen someone online other than an Asian say, "Hey, stop Asian hate." And it was sad because even though I haven't seen a lot of proof of other than crooked cops beating up black people, which no one likes crooked cops, by the way. We all sh- are pretty sure that they need to serve justice too. Like, of course. Like, no one likes a crooked cop. Just like no one likes, a chomo. No one likes a rapist, Like, just because we say that all lives matter does not mean we like these cops doing these things. But I think there's a lot of races other than just black people that have gotten discriminated from cops. So, and then there's the Asian hate, which people were literally beating up Asian people just because of COVID. And mind you, it was a Chinese virus, not a whole Asian virus. And this is why I actually liked Ryan Higa saying what he said before going on to doing something else, because he left after that video. I'm not sure if he was done, but he made a good point. Just because the virus was made in Asia or made in China doesn't mean, first of all, doesn't mean all Chinese people were involved. Some of them were citizens. Some of them were just minding their own business. And it doesn't mean the whole of Asia did. Because I've seen many, like, Asian celebrities, random Asian people coming out being like, people are hurting us in the streets. And they're not just cops. They were actually random people. So I just think that's a little hypocritical, being like, oh, well, we need to help these people. But like when the Asians needed help, oh yeah, we'll just let them get hurt. Now, obviously, both riots on one side and riots on the other side stopped, right? So what I'm trying to get at is that I'm a person that doesn't like hypocrisy and bureaucracy. If you're a little hypocritical, we all do it. I'm not saying one person is not hypocritical, because at some point, everybody's hypocritical, right? Everybody does something that they don't believe in. It's human. But it's the fact that people don't have critical thinking about something. And this is why I don't listen to mainstream media anymore. And there's a lot of people that don't. Mainly because when you listen to these mainstream news stations are getting sponsored to tell you what to think. These sponsors are telling them what news to show you. Why do you think some people go on Ground News or Straight Arrow News? I'm not one of those people that care about who you vote for. But give a good reason why you're voting for that person. But also, don't disrespect someone else for voting differently. Because my philosophy, and there's a lot of people with this philosophy, is that, well, on one side you get a shit sandwich, and the other side you got a shit salad. It doesn't matter how you eat it, shit is shit. Okay? I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but shit is shit. Okay? I am not Republican. I am not Democrat. I think both sides, I do not trust politicians. I do not. I never have, never will. Never trusted politicians, never trusted the FBI. Of course, I will accept the rules of what police and the FBI tell me. Because obviously, I don't want to go to jail. But there are certain points where people have to understand, do not completely trust the government. Have your own mindset of what you believe. I feel like people say they have morals, but their morals are what other people believe, and they're just reacting to it. Right? They're reacting to other people's morals, and they're like, hey, I think I should have those morals. When I was young, I always said, treat people the way they want to be treated. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter, like, Even when I was 5 years old, my mom told me, before I even knew what being attracted to men was, that there are people that are attracted to the same sex. Do you know what I said? I immediately got it. I was like, okay, that's fine. But then eventually, I started, figuring out my orientation, and you know, here I am. Uh, so I don't know. I feel like people have this conception of whatever I see online or whoever I disagree with online. Oh, they must be like that in real life. There are a lot of people on Twitter that are going to remix something, twist it into their own way, and make you look like the enemy. And if you're watching this and if you want to be a new YouTuber, like someone that disagrees with you is going to twist your conversation, and they're going to make you look like the enemy. And that's the sad thing about the internet, is that they are going to make you look like the enemy. It doesn't matter if you're being righteous. It doesn't matter if you're being an asshole. It doesn't matter any of that. Someone is going to change it into their own agenda and remix something. And that's the sad truth about the internet. If someone starts yelling at me on Twitter or on YouTube being like, you're a bigot for thinking this, I'm like, well, first of all, did you see my whole video? And second of all, did you see it from somebody else? And did they either twist my words, edit it, or cut a lot of it out? Because there's people that do that. There are people that do that. So, anyways, yeah. I don't know. That's why I always tell people, like whatever games you like, whatever hobbies you like. Like, if you want a job or if you want, like, to be a content creator, do what you want, man. It's like, and I try to tell people, and sometimes I will say this on here, is that there are going to be people that are trying to bring you down and say, well, you'll never be a successful online streamer or YouTuber, or you'll never be a successful business person, or never be successful in Hollywood, never be successful as a politician, you'll never be successful. People are going to bring you down. I feel like after 2020, there are a lot more negative people out there than there are positive, and I think that is very sad. I am not angry at them. I just feel sad for them. That this whole world has people that try to bring you down. But if you're watching this and if you watch to the end, don't let them bring you down. Don't let people bring you down. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, trans, queer. It doesn't matter. If you're entertaining, people will still watch you. If you're likable, people will still be friends with you. Right? If you're at work, and if you work hard enough, maybe that job won't raise you up, but then try to find a job that will. There are scummy people that have businesses that will not raise you up because of prejudice. But that's the thing about the United States nowadays. You can try to get a different job and, like, try to get someone that will respect you, And be happy with yourself. Don't try to get other people's, like, gratification for you. Be happy with yourself. Now, don't be narcissistic. Nobody likes a narcissist. There are people in media that have been telling people to be more narcissistic. And you see that where that's getting? People are not starting to like that. People are losing views, losing subscribers, losing fans. Because they're telling you what to do. And you don't like it. I don't like it. All right, guys. That's the end. I just wanted to tell people that not everybody has this thing called black fatigue or ghetto fatigue. Some people have the fatigue of people telling us what to do when this is America. If you're not actually doing something completely problematic, if you are not doing something that is either hurting, killing, or doing something very traumatic to somebody, like grape or being a chomo, I don't want to hear it unless if you know me personally. I don't want to hear it if you don't know that person personally. Unless if you have proof, actual proof of that person being a terrible person. There are people like that. I'm a person that doesn't like Hulk Hogan. I'm a person that doesn't like Logan Paul. I'm a person that does not like Hassan Piker. Mostly because they have proven they are not nice people, even though they disguise to be. I don't like Hulk Hogan. And he's like, oh, it's because I said the N-word. It's like, no, there are many white people that said the N-word that still have people that like them. It's the fact that you said the N-word and you're saying you're a nice person, but when people see you in media, you're actually doing something that is suspiciously putting black people aside. Brother, I do not like Hassan Piker because from time and time again, he has lied and people have proven it. I'm not going to say it on this video. Look it up. There have been many people have proven his bullshit. And he's a terrorist sympathizer. And Logan Paul is a guy that says, I'm doing better now, guys. Go drink my Prime. That has chemicals in it. That is not healthier for you than Gatorade. And he's saying he does better things. Like, no. Doing good things means you're doing good things. Doing less bad things does not mean you're doing good things. Doing less bad things means you're doing less bad things. Less bad doesn't mean good. It's just like neutral doesn't mean good. So yeah, guys, that's it. If you like my commentary, like, subscribe, and I'm moving soon, so I'll be in a different place, in a different house. So yeah, it will go back to like my original, commentary for video games, wrestling content. More people like my shorts, believe it or not, than my actual videos. So I don't know. I'm getting either more likes on shorts and more views. So stay tuned. I also got a couple community creations on YouTube as well. Some of them are uploaded in the description or in the title. We'll have my, 2K tag if you guys want to download some of my community creations. Some of them are out of pocket, some of them are dark humor, and some of them are just random creations that I thought were, kind of cool. So yeah, love you guys. Remember, the internet is not real. There's a lot of stupid people on the internet, but it's also very entertaining. So find the entertaining things and laugh at the stupidity. Don't get angry. Peace, guys.